Hello, I'm Juan Davies, Chief Creative Officer at KCT and PBS SoCal, and we're partnering with the newsroom of KPCC and LAist on a daily reporter roundup. Let's start with you, Mike. There's a deadline today if you want to register to vote and don't want to do it in person.
That's right, Juan. With Election Day just 2 weeks away, today is the last day you can register to vote online for the November 3rd election. It's at register2vote.ca.gov. Or if you want to register by mail, you can also do that, but your registration needs to be postmarked with today's date on it. You can still register for the election if you miss today's deadline, but you'll have to do it in person. You can even register at a voting center on Election Day itself, but you'll be voting with what's known as a provisional ballot, which election officials have to review before your ballot will end up being counted. Mail-in voting is currently already underway, and early in-person voting is starting this Saturday.
The Supreme Court will review an attempt by President Trump to leave unauthorized immigrants out of the census numbers. Caroline has the latest about what that could mean for Los Angeles.
It would have a big impact on Los Angeles. And essentially what President Trump is trying to do is he wants to take undocumented people out of the calculation that determines representation in Congress. And this calculation is based on population. And so if the 2.2 million undocumented people living in California are taken out of the census data, this makes the state look smaller, and it means that the state as a whole would lose representation. And that means taking representation away from people who are citizens and from people who are living here legally. And an expert told me that California would probably lose the most seats of any state in the country. And it would most likely come from the LA area, San Diego area, and Orange County, because that's where a lot of undocumented people are living. And President Trump, he sort of suggested that he knows this. In the memo that he put out outlining this policy, he even mentioned that there's one state that has 2.2 million undocumented people, and that they account for 3 seats in Congress. And so he's sort of calling out California a little bit. And now the Supreme Court has agreed to even consider this. That case is expected to be heard next month on November 30th.
The Wall Street Journal had a story today that some California hospitals wouldn't take some COVID patients for financial reasons. Natalie produced a segment on that story for us today and is here to explain.
Yeah, we talked to Melanie Evans from the Wall Street Journal, who reported that 4 big hospital systems in Southern California, including Cedars-Sinai, refused or stalled on taking COVID-19 transfer patients from other hospitals for insurance reasons. So those patients were uninsured or out of network. A lot of those patients were in Imperial County, which saw a surge in COVID-19 in May, and their hospitals were overrun. They were trying to transfer patients west. It's unclear if those hospitals that didn't take the patients violated any federal law, because the mandate for taking transfer patients is really narrow, but some medical experts said that it crossed an ethical boundary. The Wall Street Journal piece is really in depth, so if you're interested, I recommend you check it out.
And finally today, public health officials are encouraging everyone to get a flu shot this year. Jackie has more on why and where.
Well, this is the first flu season in the U.S. to overlap with the coronavirus. You should get a flu shot because it protects you from catching the flu and spreading it to others. And that may help lessen the burden on hospitals and medical staff. And, it's also something that you can do. A lot of people feel really helpless right now, but getting a flu shot is a safe and easy thing that you can do to protect your health and your family. Now, how to do it? The website vaccinefinder.org lets you find locations for immunizations anywhere in the country. So vaccinefinder.org will show you which pharmacies, grocery stores with pharmacies inside, urgent care centers, and other medical clinics are offering flu shots. CVS and Walgreens are offering online scheduling for flu shots. And then several city health clinics offer free flu shot vaccinations at certain times of the week. So you can check out their website. And the CDC recommends that everyone over the age of 6 months gets a flu shot.
Thank you, Jackie. But I do have to ask all of you, Dodgers yesterday, what a great game.
It was amazing. It was such a fun game. What a great series.
34 years chasing it, and here we are. Well, thank you all at the KPCC and LAist newsroom, and thank you for tuning in. Take care of your health, your family, your neighbor. We will see you tomorrow for another Dodgers game too.